Brooklyn, New York, and the home of the Nets. We're broadcasting live from Barclays Center. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Greg Anthony and Brent Barrett. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. And now, before we get to the tip-off, let's find out what Kenny Atkinson had to share with our David Aldridge. David.
Well, Kevin, he said defensively their main priority is going to be preventing points in the paint. He told me we can't let them get comfortable inside. That's what'll hurt us. He wants them playing a very physical brand of D down low. We'll see if they got the message. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks. And you know, there was so much excitement surrounding the Nets when they finished the new arena in Brooklyn in 2012. They traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett to try to fast-track their success. But that win-now strategy really failed.
Yeah, and that's what can happen when you mortgage your future. Short-term goals can lead to that long-term misery. And they still have some pieces they can build around. We'll see what additional talent they can attract going forward.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Spurs, the defensive duo of Green and Leonard make up the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Parker in at the 1 spot. Shot clock at 2. Bogdanovich. And a miss there on the triple.
His teammates cannot be happy with him, guys. He would have been better off resetting the offense and looking for a better shot opportunity.
And that one, good. Aldridge has got the opening bucket of the night here for the Spurs.
So difficult to defend Aldridge inside. He can go around you or shoot over you. Pretty much whatever he wants to do.
Here's Lopez. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And last year, I felt like Brook Lopez showed why he's a max guy when healthy. I mean, not only did he maintain terrific all-around play, but he improved in some categories. And I love what he looked like on the defensive board, reminiscent of the aggressiveness he showed when he first burst on the scene back in 08.
That free throw, no good. And when it comes to Lopez, hard not to root for a guy who's fought through so many injuries.
Yeah, last season he got back to doing some of the things that made him an all-star level producer. He was passing at a high level, playing a physical brand of defense, just an immensely skilled big whose best years hopefully are still ahead.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. Leonard, that's for 2. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And the defender was slow reacting, didn't fully account for Kawhi's quickness. Slow played him and gets to the free throw line. Well, the Spurs have 3 future Hall of Famers. There's no doubt about it. And even with the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, there's no question who is the Spurs' best player. It is Kawhi Leonard. Quietly, he's made that leap into superstar status. Although, don't ask him about it because he won't tell you anything.
And the first one drops. And Brent, you asked some people around the league. Kawhi Leonard has now thrust himself into the conversation for the league's best player.
That's pretty amazing. A Finals MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year before he ever made the All-Star game. Sometimes the fan recognition comes a lot slower when you're down there in the heart of Texas and San Antonio, but the numbers don't lie. His impact goes way beyond the box score.
And he can't hit the second. And Brent, you look at how the Spurs played last season, and any other season they might have had the best record in the league.
Well, they did have the best record that Greg Popovich has had as a coach with San Antonio, with 67 wins. And it was under the radar because of the Warriors' historic mark last year with 73. But it was the first time in history that the NBA had 2 different 35-win teams at the midway point of the season. It set up the stage for an epic showdown, and really some people let down that never happened.
Now here's Lynn after the miss from Pau Gasol. They set the pick. Lynn kicks to Lopez. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Aldridge. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
That's where Aldridge burns defenses repeatedly. His mid-range game is so advanced and so polished, evidenced by that shot there.
Now here's Lopez. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. He feeds it to Scola. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
Man, when you look at the Nets over the past couple years, it's really astounding. I mean, they've been near the bottom of almost every major statistical category as a team. I mean, that means that they really have nothing to count on to stabilize themselves when they aren't going well in a game. And when you don't have an identity as a team, boy, it is hard to find consistency.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Hamilton's checked in for Lopez. Foy comes in for Hollis Jefferson, and it's Vasquez in for Jeremy Lin. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Gasol. Kyle Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. And on the topic of the Nets, it's hard to identify their calling card as a team because the roster, Greg, still seems to be in a state of flux.
And not many draft picks or trade assets. It really may come down to love the ones you're with, at least for a little while longer. I mean, they have some scorers. They have some playmakers. If they can just find a way to block out the noise and play their game, they can be an entertaining club.
And here is Scola. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. Yep, it counts.
Good eyes, found the open man and delivered an accurate pass.
Spurs leading by 4. Now here's Mills. Pass to Leonard. 2 on the clock. A shot off that time. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Spurs lead by 4. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Well, they snuck out to the lead partly because of the play calling, largely because of the execution.
What do you think of the growth of the three-point shot as a weapon, Brent? Some have suggested that during the All-Star weekend, the three-point shootout should be the final event instead of the dunk contest. What do you think?
Well, I got a great idea. I really think they should expand the three-point shootout into 16 guys playing, and then you hand out a little bracket so all the fans can participate and fill it out.
That's a great idea.
So you go from 16 to 8 and then 8 to 4, then have the dunk contest, and then come back and let those 4 shoot it out. So you could kind of split it up a little bit and make the three-point shootout the last thing that you see. I'm on board with it.
Sounds good. On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Mills and Manu at the guards. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Anderson in at the 3 slot. Here's Mills. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Ginobili outside, beyond the arc. That one doesn't go. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Booker is screened on Anderson. Here's Vasquez. Sinks the triple. Vasquez has got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for Brooklyn. San Antonio leading. Dishes it to Anderson. Pass to Aldridge. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Aldridge has got 6 points.
There's that 7'5" wingspan coming into play. Aldridge easily making that look inside.
The dish now to Hamilton. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And the stability of the San Antonio roster had always been one of their strengths, but with the departure of some of their veteran stalwarts, this Spurs team has a new look.
It's been really interesting how they've restructured what it is the franchise's foundation is going to be as they move forward. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge becoming the pillars of what the next 5 or 6 years of San Antonio Spurs basketball will be.
And Greg Popovich, coach of the Spurs, at times we've seen him be a little prickly with the media. If he doesn't like a question, you know, Brent, he'll let you know about it.
Well, I know the shtick for some people, Kevin, has gotten a little bit tiresome, but that's not who Greg Popovich is as a coach. He just doesn't like to do those in-game interviews. It's kind of like you sitting with me doing a broadcast.
You're right. It's tipped, and that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Well, good hand-eye coordination, but he could only get the deflection very close.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Brooklyn. Bogdanovich comes in for Hollis Jefferson. The Spurs also with the sub. Leonard's checked in. Now here's Leonard. Gets the three-pointer to fall. He's got 7.
And yeah, I get it. The goal defensively is to keep Kawhi from getting looks inside, but hey, you try that.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. Parker against Len. Parker passes to Leonard. Kicks to Gasol. Brooklyn with the rebound.
That set had everything but the finish. You know, even though they missed that shot, they know they will convert that more times than not.
Here's the screen, and he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Spurs have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Here's Parker. Some solid defense there from Lynn.
Really no excuse for him missing that one, guys. He has to knock that shot down.
And they're unable to get the tying basket there. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Now Parker. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. He dishes it to Aldridge. 1 second left. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And it's 8 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's San Antonio up by 4. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Brooke. Where is this team right now?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, it's really thrilling to come out with such a great group of guys every night, you know, and play basketball. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Smiles on your face, Brooke. Thanks for the time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to a pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output for both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was fierce, but they didn't cave in.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
They were really efficient, great approach offensively. Their shot selection was first rate. They were always working hard to get good looks. That can't change in the second half. They need to be just as well organized as they have been so far.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Nice game, great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Well, showed great discipline and only took good shots. So we'll see if he can keep that decision-making up here in the third.
Brett, you had the chance to play under Coach Greg Popovich during your 4 seasons with the Spurs. Aside from the obvious accolades and plaudits, what stands out to you about him as a coach?
The one thing about Pop that stands out, Kevin, is the simple fact that the rhythm of the season is something that he has a tremendous amount of control over.
Had great feel for it.
There's no doubt about it. Pop's so good about understanding the feelings and the emotions attached to the game. And on top of that, the priority with which the game should have in your life. And that's the kind of player that they're looking for. They understand that the player has to understand the job, his accountability to his teammates, the role that he's asked to play. And then lastly, just how important basketball is in the grand scheme of things.
Jeremy Lin is out there with Hollis Jefferson. Then it's Scola. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Bogdanovich in at the small forward position. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. Spurs leading by 6. Green inside the three-point line. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. Green's got his first bucket of the night.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Yeah, great.
Yikes! Wow. Oh, that's a major league throwdown.
Keeps a tight grip on that rim, too, after the finish. And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play.
And this last offseason, Pau Gasol coming over to the Spurs in free agency. It seems to be the exact kind of player that the Spurs would want on their team, especially with his basketball IQ. Pau liked the fit as well, and it didn't take long for him to join San Antonio.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
We know Brook Lopez is a great post scorer, but he can shoot it too. Growing up with big brothers, he said, I had to score somehow, and it was easier to play outside. I was out on the wing a lot in high school running the floor. I had to adapt. Kevin, it's hard to picture him on the wing now, but he's comfortable out there.
Yeah, but he brings that skill level, DA. You can see that. Thank you. And that one misses. And for Gasol and the Spurs, it was actually another Gasol that was prompting Pau to join the team. His brother Mark told him, go to San Antonio.
Yeah, and what is strange is that Mark is very much on a team that rivals the Spurs. So I don't think Mark was doing it just so he could battle his older brother 4 times a year. I think he meant what he said with the Spurs. They are a great organization and would probably make the best fit for Pau at the end of his career.
There's a minute 34 left to play here in the third. Mills dishes to Ginobili. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. On the wing, Booker feeds it to Lopez. Here's Vasquez. Hands it from downtown. Vasquez has got 6 points.
And you're asking for more trouble than you can handle if you're going to let him just roam free from beyond the arc.
Now here's Mills, defended by Lynn. Anderson the screen. Anderson, a screen on Lin. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. That doesn't go either by Ginobili. Here's Lin. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And one signing that went a bit under the radar during the free agent period was Jeremy Lin joining up with the Nets. Nets got the veteran guard they wanted to lead their young core. Lin gets a chance to move out of the 6-man role he had been in the past few seasons, and now he gets to run the ship.
First free throw is good. In the Jeremy Lin deal, GA, he seemed to leave money on the table in order to move to the right team that fit him.
You know, many were surprised that he would leave Charlotte given the success he had there, backing up Kemba Walker. Also of note in the move is that Jeremy Lin is back in the city of New York. So Linsanity once again has returned to the Big Apple. And Lin has really carved out a nice role for himself in our league. An effective two-way player who can score, rebound, pass, and defend.
And Mills kicks to Leonard, and stolen by Booker. Here's Dedmon.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
San Antonio shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And Brooklyn making a change here. Hamilton's checked in. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Lin with it. The feed to Vasquez. To the paint. Here's Booker. Stolen by Anderson. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. San Antonio again missing. Hamilton. The shot that time not on target. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Spurs lead by 5. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
The way we keep a lead is to keep making stops, gain rebound, and keep the pace on offense.
No surprise moments ago in that little talk that Greg Popovich gave his team in pushing his troops, sensing an open opportunity to break this thing wide open.
And he's a guy who will never settle, and for good reason. He knows that any dip in momentum can shift the course of a game.
We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. On the court right now for the Spurs, the timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Aldridge out there with Green, and it's Gasol at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
A pretty free look from 3-point range. The D forgot about him on that possession.
Well, you concern yourself with the other guys who you think are going to damage you, and he stepped up and delivered that huge 3-point shot.
The pass to Ginobili. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second goal.
Well, time and score, you just can't have a costly error right now at this point in the game, guys.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Brooklyn. Brooklyn trailing. Lin kicks to Scola. It's Hollis Jefferson, top of the key. Lopez, a screen on Ginobili to tie it up. And it's good on the way in. Thomas Jefferson's got the game tied up here for the Nets.
And after all that time, finally, they've been able to tie it up here in the fourth quarter. What a comeback and what a finish we have in store.
It's amazing to think of what they've done here, being behind so long. Now they have a legitimate chance to win this thing.
And a lot of scoring here late, but there hasn't been any defense to speak of.
That's amazing. As well as both sides' offenses have performed tonight, we've seen very little effort on the other end.
And finally, they fought themselves back to even the score. We've got a new ball game here now.
It took a lot of energy just trying to even things up. We'll see if they have enough left in the tank to finish the job.
Here's Aldridge. No good there. The Nets go the other way with it. Bogdanovich passes to Lynn. Gasol against Lopez. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. From about 16, and it's good on the assist by Parker. 12 points for Aldridge.
That's an important shot by Aldridge. He understands momentum is key at this point in the game.
Lynn kicks to Lopez. Good D by Gasol.
He's certainly a threat to finish those opportunities with some style and flair, but the defense did a simply outstanding job preventing that from happening.
There's 37 seconds left to play in the final quarter. 6 on the shot clock. That's a 2 from Parker. Rebounded by the Nets. What is on the line here?
Crowd is so focused.
Bogdanovich dishes to Lopez. Lynn kicks to Lopez. Nails it! A huge shot to tie it up.
Those are huge points.
As important a bucket as we've seen all game long.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Green, the pass to Parker. Outside Aldridge. Missed. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. And we'll be back with you right after this. Well, if you're just joining us, this one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks. So off the tip, it's Brooklyn. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, Mills teams up with Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Gasol at the 5. First free throw is good, and that gives them the lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a two-point ball game.
And nice work at the line. I mean, when the game's this close, you have got to cash in on those opportunities.
Outside Leonard. He kicks it to Mills. There's the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Floats one up. He lays it in. Mills has got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
Well, he's been in a lot of huge moments in his young career. Mills can be a deadly shooter when the pressure's on.
Here's Booker. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Outside, Lynn. A minute into overtime in what has been a great game so far. Up a 3, and it's Gasol with the rebound. San Antonio's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Pass to Green, fires for 3, hits the 3.
Yeah, not shaken at all. Green has hit a ton of big shots in big situations throughout his career. Difficult guy to rattle.
Timeout called the Nets. They're behind by 3. There's 48 seconds left in overtime. Brooklyn making some changes. Lopez comes in for Anthony Bennett. And it's Luis Scola in for Booker. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for the Spurs. Parker comes in for Patty Mills. Lopez, and Gasol sends it back.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Lopez missing again.
And that's really just not heads-up basketball. Don't try a fadeaway when nobody's guarding you.
Dishes it to Aldridge. And no good. Trying to use the glass. And Brooklyn has possession. They trail by 3. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
And now we've got the intentional foul. first of two, no good, heartbreaking.
And Parker just so skilled at marching his way to the stripe. He just has an endless amount of cunning moves that consistently frustrate the opposition.
He's able to hit the second one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're losing by 4. We've got 13 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Guys, your thoughts?
And a quick bucket and a foul is really the only option at this point.
Yeah, let's forget about how to foul and concern ourselves with who to foul.
In the corner, Hollis Jefferson. There's Lynn with the 3. Money! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And I really like how Lynn elevates his game when it's all on the line. Just an amazing performer in the clutch.
First free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
And such an important contributor to his team's success over the years. It's amazing that Green was a second-round pick and coming out of a big school at that.
So neither attempt will fall that time frame. Lynn. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot. No good. And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. They escaped with a victory, although they needed an extra period to get it done.
Yeah, but what a great game. I mean, both teams, I felt like, gave it their all. But when it came to OT, it was just all about sheer determination on their part.
And that'll do it, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long and good night, everyone.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan, LaMarcus Aldridge. Kenny, what did you like about his game?
You talk about a dominant shooting performance. He had defenders draped all over him, and he never looked flustered, and he never looked confused, and his confidence was never shaken.
This game was the property of LaMarcus Aldridge, guys. He was a beast on the low block. I know he's the third option on his team, but he was the old LaMarcus, the Portland Trailblazer LaMarcus tonight. That's why he posed so many problems. Defenses cannot figure out what to do about this man.
And that's it for tonight. But we've got a whole new NBA season ahead of us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again very soon.